questions?
All right, I'll start. What do you think this quarterback competition will be like this offseason? Do you think it'll be a straight every other day, take turns? Like, how do you envision it?
Yeah, I think that I don't have an answer for you. I think historically, as a competitor, as a player, the competition really becomes with yourself. It's not between you and one other player. It's, man, you're trying to be as good as you possibly can that day and every day, and be as consistent as you can. And so, as an athlete and as someone who's been in a lot of competitions, the mindset's always the same.
I know from the outside, people might be like, oh, well, we got to see Taysom Hill at quarterback because it was 4 games. For you, do you feel like that was just sort of the tip of the iceberg, and how much does that prepare you going forward?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, that, it was the tip of the iceberg. And I would also say, I think the mindset's different where, hey, Drew went down, you're called in to step in and really just do everything you can to not really mess it up, right, as a backup. And that was my mindset. I think the mindset shifts when you become the guy, and that's something that I'm looking forward to, because last year it was always like a means to an end, like, hey, when is Drew going to be healthy and when is he going to be ready, because your time is then over. So I think it's a different mindset and something I'm looking forward to.
You're saying you're in competition with yourself. What are some of the things that you're working to beat this offseason?
Yeah, I think, you guys probably get bugged at me because the answer is probably the same every year, but I think as you study the great quarterbacks, I think what makes them unique is decision making, accuracy, timing. And so to me, like, those things never change. I have the things that I think make me a good quarterback that I continue to work on, and I'm trying to enhance, and I've got a workout protocol that allows me to throw better, more accurate, and all that stuff. But the timing, decision-making, accuracy, to me, those is what encompasses a really great quarterback. And so those are the things that I'll continue to focus on.
Do you feel like you learned more about yourself last year, given that you got those 4 games to start?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you can't replicate game experience. You can't replicate game time. And so I finally had that opportunity to be the guy where I was playing every down, every situation, where before it was, hey, you come in for a couple snaps and do that. And that was an invaluable experience for me.
Talking about mindset, does that like an off-season mindset change at all when you're going into it knowing that Drew's not going to be here and you're actually going to be competing for starting?
Yeah, absolutely. I think historically for the last 4 years, my workout routine has been different. It's been structured to be the Swiss Army knife and do all these other things that I was going to be called upon doing, where now my emphasis, my focus is just being a full-time quarterback.
Are you training same place?
Same place, but it's definitely been tailored different for sure.
Where is that?
In Utah. Yeah, off season in Utah, and got guys that I work out with there.
How different do you think it'll be the first time you walk in the building and you see Drew?
Yeah, it's going to be a weird feeling. I can't say enough good things about Drew. He's been a mentor, a friend. He's been like a brother to me. I still view him as a brother, and to walk into the building and not see him will be very, very hard. I mean, that dude has done so much for the city of New Orleans, so much for our team, and a guy like that you don't just replace.
Taysom, how much do you anticipate this offseason and leading into this season, like you and Sean would like look at the playbook and maybe like change it up or evolve it a little bit more based on like what works well with your skill set, and maybe, I don't know, I would imagine it would just be maybe a little bit different playbook than what they would have for Breeze.
Yeah.
There would probably be some things that are similar too, but.
Yeah, I haven't really had a long conversation with Coach about that, but there have been little things that we've talked about. I think I would guess that we will start to do a few things a little bit differently, but again, that's a question for Coach, and I don't really know where his mindset is on that. Here in the next couple of weeks, we'll start to clear that picture up. Good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.